So first of all, very good morning to all of you. In this class, I am going to start with continue with the previous topic, processes of recombinant DNA technology, and the topic is polymerase chain reaction. Before going to start, first revise our previous class content. Then we proceed to the today's topic, that is polymerase chain reaction. In previous class, first we in the processes of recombinant DNA technology, we isolate the desired gene from the bacteria and from the other organism too. We use different kind of enzyme for the degeneration of cell wall or cell membrane, because overall DNA present inside the nucleus, or nucleus is present inside the cell wall or cell membrane. So overall we are going to isolate the genetic material. First we dissolve or degenerate the cell membrane of living organism of desired gene, which have the desired gene. If we want to if we want the DNA from the bacteria, so bacterial cell treated by the lysozyme and then after treated by the ethanol. If we want to isolate plant genome, so plant cell treated by the cellulase enzyme, then after ethanol. If we want to fungal genetic material, so the fungi cell treated by the chitinase enzyme, then after cellulase, then after ethanol. But after the treating with different enzyme, we obtain just only the biomolecules. In the biomolecules, there are so many type of biomolecules are present in the medium, because we overall the cell component, cell membrane, we degenerated by the use of different enzyme. In the biomolecule, there is carbohydrate, protein, DNA, RNA, for example. So we want just only DNA. So overall the biomolecule degenerated by also by the use of different enzyme. So DNA, except DNA, we want to degenerate all the biomolecules present in the medium. The protein degenerated by the protease enzyme, the carbohydrate itself degenerated with the water or the enzyme too. But the RNA molecule is the major molecule which degenerated by the RNase enzyme. Now lipase degenerate the lipid molecule. So overall biomolecule degenerated by the different enzyme, we just isolate the DNA molecule. Now what we isolate the desired DNA molecule, there is need for the amplification. So amplification is a simple process by which we amplify the desired gene. So because if we want that our experiment will be successful, so for the successful experiment, we form multiple copies of our desired gene. For formation of multiple copies for the amplification, we use the PCR technique, polymerase chain reaction. There are different steps involved in the polymerase chain reaction. First step is denaturation of genetic material. Second step is annealing of genetic material, that means addition of primers on DNA, and the third is extension or extension of genetic material. So first we discuss about the denaturation process, then we discuss about the annealing or extension. Denaturation involves the breakdown of double or triple hydrogen bond present in between the two strands, because in the DNA replication we have already discussed about the breaking down of double or triple hydrogen bond by the double helical structure of DNA involve the synthesis of both the strands simultaneously. So both the for the synthesis of strand, because the synthesis is or the replication is semi-conservative, one strand present in the daughter DNA of parent DNA, and the second strand is only new strand. So in the daughter DNA there is no fully new DNA for because the checking and the conservation of genetic material involved. So that's why the semi-conservative rule followed by the DNA replication. Simply, denaturation also involves the synthesis of DNA like the replication. In the synthesis of DNA inside the cell, breaking down of these DNA molecule or double or triple hydrogen bond present in both the strand break by the helicase enzyme. But if we perform the PCR in laboratory or in vitro, there is no such possibility of denaturation, no such enzyme present that act outside the living organism. So for this we use denatured the DNA molecule by the heating the DNA molecule at 95 degrees centigrade. But the complication is that at the 95 degrees centigrade, the double or triple hydrogen bond present, which is present in between the both the polynucleotide chain, break, but the enzyme also degenerated or degenerated by providing heating to our material. Simply because, as we already studied in the biomolecules, enzymes only work at a specific temperature. If we want to isolate our enzymes from our cell, from the human cell, so human enzyme only work at the 37 degrees centigrade. If the temperature increase or decrease from the 37 degrees centigrade, so enzyme lost their activity simply. So we can also observe this phenomena in case of fever. At the fever, our body temperature increases by 1 to 2 degrees centigrade, or so many complications occur in our body like tiredness due to the loss of activity of enzyme. Because of the ATP also gets synthesized by the activity of enzyme. If enzyme lost their activity, so and ADP are not synthesized by the cell, so overall we feel tiredness. So overall there is no such enzyme which we will use in vitro conditions. So there is only one option, the two strands or breaking down of double or triple hydrogen bond by providing them heating only. So but the second one complication is that if we provide the heating or the synthesis DNA polymerase which is required for the synthesis of the DNA, new DNA strand, also get degenerated at the 95 degrees centigrade. So we discuss it later after the denaturation. First we increase the temperature, give the medium temperature increase by 95 degrees centigrade, or by which the simply breakdown of double or triple hydrogen bond, double and triple hydrogen bond, triple hydrogen bonds. Now, after breaking down of double or triple hydrogen bond, both the strands get separated with each other. So there is the DNA polymerase can synthesize the DNA molecule, but not the human DNA polymerase. Now, second is here is the double helical structure of DNA molecule, in which two hydrogen double and triple hydrogen bond is present. After the denaturation, after treating DNA at 30 more than the 35 degree centigrade or 95 degree centigrade, all the bonds present in between the two strands get breakdown occur. Now, after the breakdown of these hydrogen bonds, both the strands get separated. Now, come to the next step. The next step is annealing. Next step is annealing. Of RNA or DNA primers. So annealing of RNA primers. RNA primers on DNA strand. So here is DNA strand, polynucleotide chain. Both the strand get separated. Both the strands get separated. Here is now there is addition of oligonucleotide of RNA primer. Addition of oligonucleotide of RNA primers, that RNA primers which is formed by about 8 to 10 nucleotides get added at the region of, here is 3 prime. So this one is 5 prime to 3 prime in direction, because always the synthesis takes place in 5 prime to 3 prime in direction. Similarly here there is addition of again 5 prime to 3 prime in direction. The primer get added on, RNA primer get added on the DNA strand. Now after this, the time of that involves the addition of DNA polymerase, but not the human DNA polymerase. There is addition in PCR. We generally use the tag DNA polymerase. So what is tag DNA polymerase? Why we use the tag DNA polymerase, not human polymerase? Because our DNA, our human polymerase, DNA polymerase or bacterial DNA polymerase can act at specific temperature, normally bacteria or normal E. coli simply, can act at normal temperature or at room temperature or 35 to 37 degrees centigrade, not above the temperature of 40 degrees centigrade. The DNA in the PCR, we cannot be use our DNA polymerase, because our DNA polymerase is active on the 37 degrees centigrade. Above this temperature they get degenerated because they are not modified or for behind this temperature. So we in the PCR, for the extension of DNA strand, we use tag DNA polymerase. Tag DNA polymerase. Tag DNA polymerase can survive above the temperature of 37 degrees centigrade. The tag DNA polymerase also not lost their activity behind or above the 37 degrees centigrade, because the tag DNA polymerase isolated from the bacteria, specific bacteria, isolate from the specific bacteria, from the specific bacteria, Thermus aquaticus. Thermus aquaticus. Thermus aquaticus. So Thermus aquaticus is a specific type of bacteria which survive above the 95 or survive at the 95 degree centigrade, present in the stream of boiling hot water. So that stream contains hot water, or the temperature ranges in between the 95 degree centigrade. Bacteria can survive above the temperature, so that's why we use, because they are living at that temperature, so that means their DNA polymerase is also active at that temperature, at 95 degrees centigrade. So during the denaturation of DNA, the tag DNA polymerase, which is isolated from the Thermus aquaticus, generally not lost their activity at this temperature. So that's why we use this type of DNA polymerase. So what actually they do, they extend the DNA strand. So here we add the RNA primer on one strand. So the tag DNA polymerase only add or extend the RNA primer by the addition of deoxynucleotide. Deoxynucleotides. So we use deoxynucleotides plus tag polymerase for the extension of new strand of DNA, or through the PCR increase the number of our desired gene by billion times. So our desired DNA, which generally after the isolation, which the number of desired DNA we have only 100,000, for example, few thousand. So that increases by billions times. That increases by the number of times through the PCR. So that's why we use the PCR. So overall, if we draw the chart of PCR, so simply it include extension, simply it include denaturation, annealing, or extension of desired DNA. So in the here is PCR, polymerase chain reaction. We are going to discuss about the polymerase chain reaction. If we draw whole strand, so the here is DNA strand. In between nucleotide, there is double or triple hydrogen bond present in both the polynucleotide strand. Or the direction of these strands are 3' to 5', 5' and 5' to 3'. So first is denaturation. Denaturation simply involves the breakdown of double or triple hydrogen bond present in between the two polynucleotide chain, of DNA. Here is 3 prime and 5 prime, and now after denaturation there is addition of primers, RNA primers. Now primers get added at this region. From 5 to 3 prime in direction, because this is the 3 prime to 5 prime in direction, that's why. Now because this represents also the 3 prime to 5 prime in direction, so DNA primer, RNA primer get added at this region, so in the direction of 5 prime to 3 prime. Now the last and final step is the extension. So addition of these primer included in the, here is first step, and the second step is annealing, which is addition of primer, and third step is extension. So extension involves Taq DNA polymerase or Taq DNA polymerase, polymerase, or deoxynucleotides, or after this the fully strand gets synthesized by millions or billions times. So here is another strand, this one is another strand. So overall both the strand get synthesized by the use of all these steps. Now after the PCR we copy our desired genome by billions time. Now there is addition of these desired into the recombinant DNA, that is insertion of genetic material, insertion of DNA into the host cell. That means the amplification involved our desired amplified by the use of PCR. Now after this we ligate our genetic desired gene into the recombinant DNA, because recombinant DNA have the selectable markers. Selectable markers help in the differentiation in between the transformants and non-transformants. Now the recombinant DNA simply first we introduce desired genes into plasmid simply. Then after this, because the plasmid have different region, that means these regions have the restriction site, or also have the ampicillin resistant gene or tetracycline resistant gene. For example, tetracycline resistant gene, or this one ampicillin resistant gene. So through the restriction endonuclease we just cut it, the one of the two marker, cut it out from the plasmid. Then addition at this place we add our desired gene. Now our desired gene get added at this region. So because the our plasmid have the another tetracycline resistant gene, so this bacteria can survive in the presence of tetracycline antibiotics. So that's why two restriction site should be present on the plasmid, because one of the two help in the differentiation in between the transformant and non-transformant. Now after these, because our genetic material get ligated into the plasmid, now after these, the insertion of the recombinant DNA into the host cell. The host cell is E. coli bacteria. Here is E. coli bacteria. Now how can we introduce this recombinant DNA into the host E. coli? By the different method, by the simply transmission by the heat shock method. Simply heat shock method is simple method. The first we in the medium in which our recombinant DNA, which have our recombinant DNA and E. coli bacteria, that medium first we heat provide to that medium by the 42 degrees centigrade, then chill that, first we chill that medium, then provide heat, then again chill that medium. So we generally manipulate the cell manipulate the cell of E. coli so that these accept the recombinant DNA. Now second step is the second through the micro injection. Micro injection is simply injection, like we introduce the this recombinant DNA into the host cell by the use of micro injection. Now the last method for the insertion of recombinant DNA is ballistic guns. So ballistic gun use for the introduction of recombinant DNA. So gold plated or tungsten plated coated this recombinant DNA bombarded by the ballistic gun, or through the bombarding of these gold plated or tungsten plated recombinant DNA introduced into the E. coli cell. Now the another method is use of living organisms. So agrobacterium used for the insertion of genetic material into the host cell. How agrobacterium use? Agrobacterium tumefaciens used for the transfer of our genetic material. Agrobacterium is simply a bacteria which have the TI plasmid. Now, TI plasmid. So, TI plasmid refer for the tumor inducing plasmid. Tumor inducing plasmid transmitted by agrobacterium because they are parasitic type of bacteria, or they introduce their TI plasmid. Their TI plasmid have different type of genes for the synthesis of auxins or cytokinins. After the introduction of TI plasmid induce the cell for proliferation because they have gene for auxins or cytokinin. So they induce the cell for the proliferation, or they cause a disease, crown gall disease. In the crown gall or disease caused by Agrobacterium tumefaciens, for their survival, they use the overall material of the plant for synthesis of our own protein. So, how we use in the biotechnology, in the insertion of our desired gene into the host cell, we use their TI plasmid, introduce our genetic material, then transfer into the agrobacterium. Because they are parasitic, they introduce their TI plasmid into the plant cell. So, what we introduce in the TI plasmid, the plants are able to synthesize that type of protein or enzyme that are introduced into the TI plasmid. So overall, these are helpful in the insertion of our genetic material into the plant or animal cells. So here is the overall about the PCR and insertion of recombinant DNA technology. Insertion of recombinant DNA into the host cell. Recombinant DNA into the host cell. So here is the overall about these two topics. I hope you like this video. Keep listening and watching me, and thank you for listening and watching me.